watching me, watching you, watching me.
Are we already recording?
Yeah, hit the record button.
Oh, nice. So what's wrong with my mustache?
It's literally a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10? It's that bad, eh? Oh, you got to choose a coaster, too, before we start. They won't be able to see, but
You'll know.
you'll know.
I got it.
Oh, what? You just took I didn't think you were going to take that one.
It has Itachi on it.
I thought I wasn't going to be stuck with that one. This one is deep breaths, big sips.
And this is just a Batman one.
It's just a really cool Batman one. I almost bought 3 of these for us, and Nicole's like, nah, we don't need 3. I'm like, I should have bought 3.
You should have bought 3.
I should have. I'll go
Look,
back.
It even has our color scheme.
It does have our color scheme.
It even has.
These are at the right next to the movie theater we were just at the
We should have
dollar
picked some
store.
up on the way.
Dollar store. Yeah, I'll get some for your house.
Yeah,
I'll get some for your house.
for both houses.
Both houses. Three. I was gonna get 4 for each, just in case, but she talked me out of it. But I got
Females. Yeah.
females.
Hey, you can't live without them, but you gotta live with them.
But then you try to kill Godzilla for him. I guess I'll pick Metroid. No, Duck Hunt. I'm gonna pick Duck Hunt because I annoy people in Smash Bros with that.
Do you have your salad sip power? Almost.
So
This
do you
is-
want the Batman or do you want the deep breaths, big sips? Okay.
We just got out of the movies, probably like about an hour and a half ago, or maybe 2 hours, close to 2 hours at this point.
Yeah, we ate and stuff.
We watched the movie. I didn't expect this to be as long of a day as it is. We watched the movie. We went to eat, and then now we're recording the podcast.
Yup.
And I'm so tired.
So tired.
It's probably the food.
The food does it.
The food does it. You have your salad sip?
Yeah, I have mine.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I was just wondering.
Wait, why? Oh my goodness. Oh goodness.
I don't know. Because Albert's the only one that doesn't have it.
Mine was pretty simple, so didn't take a lot of thinking. We'll do the drink reveal in the moment. Is it like the Chihuahua? I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh,
That's the wrong way.
Wrong way. Wrong way. Little Chihuahua. He's
That
getting,
way,
oh
that
my
way.
God. He's drinking.
He's holding the drink.
I thought about getting wine bottles and then making a cast somehow and then making my own and then selling them. But I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's not for me.
I got too many other things I'm trying to work on. I'm not going to make a wine bottle holding business.
Wine bottle holding business. Well, while we're still waiting for Albert, this is how many did we talk about Shin Godzilla on the podcast?
No, it came out 2016.
So we talked about the MonsterVerse.
We talked about Monsterverse.
We talked about Mechagodzilla.
Yeah,
The
against
second
Godzilla.
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the third one.
That's the third one.
Technically, that's the 4th movie. You got the original 1970s one. Then
I
you
meant
got
the second Mechagodzilla movie. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
The second Godzilla movie with Mechagodzilla in it.
No, count the ones you can remember.
I can't remember any of them.
Really?
Apparently.
Okay, so there's Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Came
Yeah.
out like I don't remember when, 60s or 70s. And then you got the Terror Mechagodzilla, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 in the Heisei series. Those first 2 were Showa. And then you have the one that we watched was Godzilla against Mechagodzilla.
So that's the fifth
That's
one?
the 4th one.
Oh.
And then you got Tokyo SOS, which is it's the continuation, the sequel of that. And then you have Godzilla versus Kong, which is the 6th one. Yeah. 6 Mechagodzilla movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is the one that has the dog with the ears?
That's the first one. That's
Okay. I remember
Godzilla
that
versus
one.
Mechagodzilla. Yeah. King Caesar.
Yeah. I remember now. Caesar. What other Godzilla movies do we do? How many have you done for the podcast?
I'm thinking we've done...
Probably like 6.
Really?
If you count all the MonsterVerse movies.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3.
The one that we just talked about, the Mechagodzilla one.
4. Yep.
Did we did a Godzilla movie from the theater as well, right?
The original? The first
the
one?
one we saw on AMC? Is that
no, the one we saw at Alamo Drafthouse.
We talked about that one on the podcast?
I think a little bit. It wasn't like a main... It wasn't the main focus of the episode.
But we talked about it, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did one other one at AMC on a Wednesday.
Did we? I thought we only watched one.
Which is the one we got refunded for?
There was Tokyo SOS, the second one. We got refunded for.
Which is the one that had the wrong movie at the first time?
That was the one we saw, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. I'm pretty sure. No.
There's one more.
There's one more.
We're forgetting one more.
Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, anyway.
I've lost track.
Are you done, Albert?
Yes.
All right, well, this time we watched Godzilla Minus One.
Such a weird title.
Very weird. Do you guys have any ideas? Do you have any thoughts before going into this movie?
No, but I was excited to watch it because of watching the trailer, knowing when this was going to be set. Like, it was really shortly after World War II. They've lost the war. They've gotten bombed, and this is just some citizens trying to live their lives after the war. I was excited to see that experience because I don't think we've seen that in a Godzilla movie before, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't think in a lot of social media we've watched that piece of the aftermath of them rebuilding.
Yeah.
It's mostly stuff way after in like the
Yeah.
late 60s and onwards of them rebuilding and Godzilla being there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have any thoughts on it?
I remember seeing the trailer and being excited for it, but the trailer was like it didn't give a lot of details. But I remember seeing Godzilla, and I was very excited for his design, very excited for a Japanese Godzilla, because the latest thing we've gotten live action is Shin Godzilla, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
And we've had the whole MonsterVerse, and that's been kind of up and down for me. So this was hopefully, in my mind, a refresh of Godzilla. Yeah. So I was excited.
I was excited too.
Yeah.
I don't really have too much thoughts on it other than there's another Godzilla movie, and it wasn't part of the MonsterVerse, so I was kind of interested in what they were going to do with it.
Yeah.
I
was also kind of, I don't know, I was wanting a Godzilla versus someone movie because Shin Godzilla was solo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one I was kind of hoping, but sometimes just the solo Godzilla movies are some of the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the humans versus Godzilla instead.
Yeah, and if you do the humans right, it can really like boost that movie up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
If you do the movies wrong, then you get some MonsterVerse, and then and then you get in trouble.
Then you're just getting people watching the monsters, and that's boring.
Yeah.
At least the people parts.
Yeah. All right then. You want to do the?
Yeah. All right.
What do we got here?
This is a very special drink that I got. It is alcoholic, so we can do a little bit.
Okay.
And then we can jump on the trampoline or something. Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure I'll be okay by the time we're done with this podcast.
Sorry, Chihuahua, taking the drink from you. Drum roll? No, I'm just kidding. Bam! Pacific Rim! I bought this and I was like, yeah! So, it's a Pacific Rim, it's a, what's a sweet, I don't know how to pronounce this,
Riesling.
Riesling?
Yeah.
Sorry, you couldn't even hear me at all, possibly. But
No, it was
Pacific Rim.
It was picking up the volume.
Yeah.
It's a sweet Riesling.
I actually just had to throw my gum away so I could taste this. I wasn't actually storming off. It was
I
just for
thought you were-
dramatic effect.
I thought you were grabbing the trash can so you can throw it away.
I thought about it. Okay, well,
It's a cool bottle.
That's a really cool bottle.
Yeah, I'm hoping it tastes good.
It's very cold.
Yeah, I had it in the fridge. I put it in last night.
It's good.
Yeah, I bought it like 3 weeks ago.
All right. Are you gonna do the honors, or are you just gonna?
No, I'm just gonna just poke a hole in it
Just
with my tongue.
You want me to hold your mic so you could?
Yeah, hold my mic for me.
Oh, that's very.
Yeah, it's not going to hiss.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You should get some proper wine glasses, but oh well.
Did you not hear what he just said earlier about wine glasses?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
What did I say?
I forgot. But you said something about getting wine glasses.
How much do you want?
That was good.
It's good.
Yeah, just enough to taste it.
All right. There you go.
I'm all talking to Jesse and he's
With both.
answering, and I'm holding his mic away from
You're
him.
holding both mics.
Like about that much for you too? And that
Yeah.
The color is not impressive. Why are you laughing?
The color of the
Because
wine.
I keep every time you talk, I take the mic away, but every time you don't talk, I hold it up for you.
Yeah, that's typically how you're supposed to do it.
No, it's typically supposed to be other way.
Will this leak at all? I hope
It
not.
shouldn't.
It should be sealed at that point.
There you go, doggy. No, doggy.
All right. I hate.
Do you know anything about wine, Jesse?
No, I do not.
Okay.
All I
hate the
know is I
smell
like
of
the ones that say
alcohol.
Pacific Rim on them.
Okay.
Yeah, the smell is. Go ahead, smell it.
It smells good though.
Obert says it smells good. John says not so much.
Better taste and
So
smell.
there's sweet wines and there's dry wines.
This is sweet.
Yeah,
Dry wines dry out your mouth
yeah.
because of something called tannins.
What is it called?
Tannins.
Tannins.
Hmm. And that's a chemical that's something in the grape that releases.
I like the noise it makes.
And then sweetness is basically it tastes sweeter and it doesn't dry out your mouth as much.
Yeah. How did I get that noise?
I didn't like the smell, but I think it tastes better than.
Than the last one we had.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet and it's pretty low alcohol tasting.
But it smells like alcohol to me. So.
Albert says he does this on the daily nugget.
Mm-hmm.
Albert has like the weirdest life to me.
Why?
He's so outgoing when he's not around us.
It's just what do you?
He's a mingler,
I code switch a lot.
whereas he's the quiet one when it's us.
You think so? I don't think so.
It depends on the personalities I'm with.
Yeah.
Anyways, this movie
Yeah.
is directed by.
Oh, did we rate this?
Oh, the drink. Let's do that. Yeah, that's a fair point. What would you give this alcohol a rating?
This is
It's actually 4 for me.
To 4?
It's-
Alcohol?
It tastes pretty good. Yeah.
Do you want to take it home?
No, I'm not gonna drink it. I don't drink.
Me neither.
Well, we'll bust it out for kaiju movies, I guess.
Okay.
Never doing Pacific Rim.
We got it. We still got it. You want to take a picture of the other side?
Oh yeah, that's probably a better idea.
It just says Pacific R.
Pacific Rim.
Is it official merch or is it just a
No.
different? It's just coincidentally it's called Pacific Rim.
I mean,
Probably
think,
coincidence.
I think isn't that just like a region?
It's made from the
It is.
Pacific.
The Pacific Rim is basically all the countries that outline the Pacific.
Yeah. This is medium,
Including
sweetness.
Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So there's sweet. I've never tasted sweet wine
Yeah, John?
before.
Including Arizona.
Including Arizona.
We touched the Pacific.
Columbia Valley, WA is Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came from Washington. 100% wind-powered offset.
That's cool.
Yeah,
power.
non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan-free, and you can go to www.pacificrimandco.com.
Oh, it's vegan too?
Is
that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it. I said vegan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You said
vegan.
vegan free.
Yeah, vegan-free
So
and
it's
vegan-friendly.
So it's free of vegans.
Yeah, it's not made of vegans,
That's good
which
to know.
that's really good.
Yeah, I don't want my
typically-
stuff made of vegans.
I don't typically drink vegan
I don't eat
juices.
vegans either.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. At least turn the label facing the camera.
Yeah.
In traditional winemaking, there's animal byproducts used to make wine.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people's feet.
I
No,
mean,
it's-
I guess that's an animal. A human is an animal.
Yeah, a human is an animal.
Yes.
But us, like how they always show the people
Like stepping on
Yeah.
the tomatoes or like the cherries or the
Yeah.
grapes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you get the sweetness.
All right, this movie is directed by Takashi Yamazaki. Its tagline is "Post-war Japan from zero to minus."
One.
No, just to minus.
Oh.
It is also called Godzilla Minus 1.0.
1.0.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. It was originally what it was called.
Interesting.
I couldn't find a budget for it in the limited time that we had.
Yeah.
But DB hasn't really been showing the budgets of newer movies.
You gotta pay for the pro.
Yeah.
DB.
Stupid.
Released December 1st, 2023. A runtime of 2 hours and 4 minutes. I didn't
What's
look
it
up the
rated?
rating.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Really quick.
While he looks up the rating, it has a box office currently worldwide of just under $34 million. So that's pretty good for
A Japanese film in a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PG-13. Creature violence in action.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
I mean, the most violent part was probably the beginning. So
You were looking for the budget of the box office? The budget, right?
budget, yeah, if you can find
I'll
it.
look it up.
It's currently in theaters right now. So if you guys have a chance to go see it in theaters, you'll find out if you want to go based on our.
What? $15 million US
The budget?
for the budget.
No way.
It says, how was Godzilla only made with 15? That's crazy.
There you go.
That is.
That's crazy. And it's going to kick some box office ass
It
for
must have been.
$15 million.
Must have been a lot of CGI and not a lot of miniatures.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was mostly CGI.
I feel like it would have been.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell in some scenes.
But CGI gets expensive too, but I think they don't go overboard
Mm-hmm.
like we do here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel it must have been very little use of miniatures.
Yeah. But it looks pretty good
Mm-hmm.
for
It
a
does.
Japanese movie. Like their CGI is not always up to par, but it was really good. Wait.
Okay.
What?
No, I was just like, you could just tell in some scenes, but
Yeah.
not too bad. Like if you're looking for it, you could tell.
Yeah, you can tell Godzilla does not fit where it's
Fit,
supposed to
yeah.
be.
Especially in the night scene at the very beginning.
Yeah, you could tell.
It's a little bit above Shin, but Shin, there's some shots that look like it's like a practical effect.
Mm-hmm.
They do a really good job on that one
Yeah,
too.
close up on body parts, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our Sell That Sip. 6-word summary of the movie. Go ahead.
Okay.
Albert.
All right. New CGI with a traditional story. I feel it reminded me of some older films. I don't remember the names of all the Godzilla movies, but
Yeah.
especially I think we were talking about earlier about Shin Godzilla and either the Japanese people within the government or citizens outside the government. Like in this one, commenting about how their current government can't handle it or won't be able to handle it or has red tape or this is preventing us from actually doing stuff, and that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jesse.
All right. Here goes mine. Pretty simple. Here
All
it
of
goes.
ours
The scariest and best Godzilla movie.
Yo, okay, before you talk,
What?
Yeah.
potential fright ruined by middle lull.
Yeah.
Lol.
To me, like along with Jesse's Sell That Sip, like this is had the potential to be like a really horrifying Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
It is probably one of the more brutal Godzilla movies we've seen.
Yeah. People getting bitten.
Yeah.
And tossed. And yeah.
And I was like genuinely on the edge of my seats at the very beginning.
Yeah,
It's
it was
just
surprising.
Yeah, it's just that middle part where he kind of like goes away and they talk a lot. It just got really boring for me.
Interesting. I thought you were going to beat up Jason for saying that.
No. If to be honest with you, if I didn't have to review this movie on a podcast, I might have fallen asleep with them.
Really?
With both of him and Orlando.
I mean, I was going to
Dang.
comment that on part of my Sell That Sip is that's kind of traditional too. Is there's always that slow part
Yeah.
of the humans trying to recollect themselves and figure out what to do, or like they're not even thinking about Godzilla. They're just trying to survive at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think out of all the ones that we've seen though, this one when he goes away is kind of the more boring part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about the human characters in the MonsterVerse. Like, he's the main character in this one's interesting.
Yeah.
But he also has a lot of flaws that just like make me not connect well with him, make me just like not really care too much for him. I kind of saw what they were going with the story like the whole way through, and then towards the end when they reveal the big plot device, like
The way to fight Godzilla?
Not to fight Godzilla, but what was gonna happen with the main character. Like I saw it coming as soon as they brought in the plane.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a name.
I'm trying not to spoil it because this is probably the first newish movie that we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
So for this part, I just kind of want to not spoil anything, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and rate this movie.
All right, nose goes. I'll go last.
Okay. Out of 10 cool looking
10 dorsal fins.
Dorsal fin spikes that eject
When he's charging up his laser,
yeah, it's so cool.
his
looking.
heat ray.
Go ahead, Albert.
Probably, I think this is one of my most favorite Godzilla movies I can remember.
Yeah.
It was, like you guys were saying, it was on the edge of my seat for a lot of parts. It was interesting that's very different. So I think I'm giving it like a 8.
Okay.
8. Respectable
8. Number.
I like it.
Since I'm going next, it's a 6 for me. Like,
but not good. Just kidding.
It's definitely above average for movies that we've seen, and it has interesting parts. It has actually a lot of good points to it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, like the part that's solely with the human characters just doesn't do it for me. So.
All right, let's go ahead and let's go watch the Marvels.
To comment on that, I think it's because there's a lot of traditional conservative Japanese culture behind this movie too. Behind the characters and how they feel behind World War II, especially with, I think, is that his cousin that he lives next door to?
I don't know who there.
It's just a neighbor.
Just a neighbor.
I thought it was wife at first. I didn't know who she was.
I never took it as wife, but it's someone he knew. It was his neighbor at least.
Yeah.
It seemed like family, but I'm guessing their surnames were different.
They were.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But I think in the beginning where, I don't think it's really a spoiler, but he's supposed to be fighting this war and he comes back.
Yeah.
So.
And his job is a kamikaze pilot. So
he should not have come back.
Yeah, if he comes back, it's not good.
He's meant to die.
Yeah.
And honor is a very big thing.
Yeah.
Especially back then. And then him coming back is different for how we feel about our soldiers coming back.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very different culture too.
Definitely.
Maybe that's why some of us might, or most of us probably don't relate to this guy in the same way.
No. But I did find him more relatable probably than...
Yeah, in certain ways.
Yeah.
Right. And he's battling inside how he should feel versus how other people feel.
Yeah.
All right, were we going to rate it or what were we going to say?
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
But I can rate it if you guys are good.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this an 11. I love this movie. This is so good. It's either my favorite or my second favorite. It's definitely in the top 3 Godzilla movies. Everything about it was good. The human characters I loved. I could go back and watch this movie again right now and I would enjoy it. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen many movies in theaters this year, so by default, this is my favorite movie. And also, it's a good movie, I think. So, I loved it. The first scene with Godzilla starts off like within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's brutal.
I think that would be most of our favorite sequences, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But I enjoyed a lot of the human stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you guys, but I cried a lot during this movie. Like a lot. Like 4 or 5 times.
I laughed a lot during this movie.
I got emotional once, yeah.
Yeah, I cried like 4 times during this movie. all the human like connections and everything and the interactions, it hit me really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I cry easily, but not always. Not always.
I get pretty empathetic too.
Yeah.
So, do you have any trivia that you might have found? I didn't look up any trivia.
I didn't really look up any trivia. I didn't
Okay.
do a lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and get into the characters. You have
I do have one trivia. I'm sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is this director. What's his name again?
Takashi Yamazaki.
Takashi Yamazaki. I'm pretty sure he's been wanting to do a Godzilla film for a very long time because this is not the first time he has interacted with Godzilla. He has a movie. Let me look up the director really quick. And it's just a dream sequence. But his movie... Where's the director? Oh, jeez. 1 second. Let me... Found his name.
I don't have any trivia, but here, I have trivia now.
But I kind of don't, but I gotta look it up really quick.
I'm a great magician. I have trivia.
Your closer trivia. So his movie is called Always. Let me see. Always Sunny on 3rd Street. And they have a dream sequence in there. We can watch it later. But this Godzilla takes inspiration not only from a lot of Godzillas. The Heisei Godzilla, the Millennium Godzilla, Showa Godzilla, a little bit of I think it's the Rei, the the Shin Godzilla, but also is very reminiscent of the Godzilla he designed for his movie.
Oh.
So it's
And there's a dream sequence where this Godzilla is?
yeah, this happened like 15-ish years ago.
Oh.
So he's been wanting to do a Godzilla movie for a very long time, and I applaud him. I think he did a great job.
I'm going to get into these characters real quick.
Go ahead.
You have Ryonosuke Kamiki playing Koichi Shikishima.
Tsukishima
Not
and Koichi. They're both anime characters.
Minami Hamabe playing Noriko.
Harambe. That's Harambe.
Not every
Sai
Japanese name is a reference to an anime.
Sai Nagatani playing Akiko.
Yeah.
Sakura Ando playing Sumiko Oda. That's the neighbor.
Pink hair. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Huh?
Oh, you're stupid. Kironosuke Sasaki playing Yoji Akitsu, who is, I'm pretty sure, the captain of the the rowboat.
I'm pretty sure.
Rowboat,
wood boat.
The minesweeping boat?
Yeah, the minesweeping boat. Hidetaka Yoshioka playing Kinji Noda. That's the scientist.
Yep.
Yuki Yamada playing Shiro Mizushima. That's Kid, the other young guy on the boat.
Yuki Yamada.
The one that wants to be in the war as well, but didn't get a chance to because he's too
He
young.
glorified it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Munetaka Aoki playing Sosaku Tachibana. And Tachibana's the engineer that was on the island when...
Yep.
Mechanic.
Yeah. Mechanic, engineer.
Oh, they're different.
Oh,
Mechanics would be upset if you...
He's a mechanical engineer.
They're even more upset.
Anyway.
All three are upset.
Yeah.
Don't
mislabel my job.
No use crying over spoiled milk. We are now going to get into spoiler territory for this movie.
Godzilla's in this movie.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Starting now. So, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, pause it. Go watch the movie.
Go watch it. It's the best thing you'll see this year.
That's
I don't
not
know
true.
about that,
That's
but
not
it's pretty
true.
If you don't think it's good, then I don't know.
I think Jesse's just overrating this movie because of the MonsterVerse.
I mean,
Plus of movies he's seen this year.
honestly,
That's
what
why.
would you rather watch?
What else have we seen in theaters this year?
I don't know. If we see,
Are you talking about like? Are you talking about like? Would I rather watch this or the MonsterVerse?
yeah, they both have their ups and
Ups and
downs.
downs. So, I mean, if you,
I think
If I want to watch action, I'm watching the MonsterVerse movies.
Yeah.
If we're talking solely the
Stories,
Godzilla
yeah.
versus Godzilla, like Godzilla, like the MonsterVerse first movie
Yeah.
versus this movie, it's probably this movie.
Yeah. Maybe like a slight margin for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like I really like the very beginning of it,
Yeah.
but as opposed to you, the human stuff is I don't know. It doesn't seem that great to me. Like he's always passing out. He's always just kind of like
He's only passed out twice.
he passed out like 3 times.
Oh
didn't he?
shoot,
Did he?
3 times. Yeah, never mind.
That's a
3
lot.
times.
I mean, if you're getting exploded by an airplane behind you,
Right,
He
3
probably
times.
should have been dead then.
yeah.
That's a lot of concussions in 2 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of concussions in 2 years.
Yes.
A lot of the plot is set up for him to be like redeemed, and as you know, I am intrigued by his story, but like you could definitely you could see what's coming, and then like I said, as soon as they introduce the special jet, yeah,
Oh yeah.
the special jet, and Tachibana's working on it, and then he like looks at the back and is like, oh, this has an ejection seat.
Yeah.
Like come on now, we knew that was gonna happen.
And
then on top of that,
yeah.
on top of that,
What's up?
she survives.
Yeah. She shouldn't have, like, realistically, I don't think she should have survived unless there was something to show she survived, but
yeah, I have the chance.
yeah.
And then realistically, like the most intriguing part about it is the fact that he was a kamikaze pilot who faked his plane malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like the stuff with Godzilla, like when Godzilla first appears, there's nothing that he could have done. Like even if he froze up, like
At that point, even before Godzilla received radiation,
Yeah.
there was nothing he could have.
He would have shot it, Godzilla would have chomped his plane,
Yeah.
and it would have just been Tachibana.
but Tachibana didn't know that. He assumed he would have saved the day.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's a slight chance him being the smaller version, the less. Maybe he could have done more
Yeah.
damage, but
As an audience, we know that. But
Yeah,
Tachibana
maybe.
doesn't know that.
yeah,
like
maybe.
I like the fact that he was a coward, and then, but I wanted him to like slowly progress to be the hero, not like because as soon as he comes back and he gets on the Minesweeper boat, his hands are pretty stable, and he's shooting things.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's
Like
not
nothing.
shooting a Godzilla
When
dinosaur.
he saw the Godzilla monster, and the he started shooting right away. He like hesitated real quick, and then like there was no conflict there. Like
he's froze up like a couple times during the movie, but
Mm-hmm.
right now he realizes like you gotta go big or go home, like, and he's not gonna go home. That's Godzilla's mouth. So,
Yeah.
so I think there's certain situations where you just gotta do it, otherwise, like, you're gonna be in trouble.
he had
So-
2 opportunities.
I mean, the first time and what other time?
The first time,
Oh, this one.
and then the second time. Yeah, but I thought you meant like what time did he, freeze up? And he froze up the first time.
Yep.
So
Froze up the first time,
The second time, he had the resolve.
and then he froze up during the blast when he got pushed out of the way. He would have stood there and he would have got taken out.
Well, you even think about it. He didn't really freeze. Everyone was just standing there.
Yeah.
no one
Didn't
knew what was gonna
expect it.
happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to guess they're all survivors of the 2 nuclear bombs
Yeah.
or 2 atomic bombs. So they're not expecting it themselves because they didn't experience it, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The human characters were
What?
barely above the human
Pacific Rim?
characters from the MonsterVerse.
No, you can't say that. You can say about Pacific Rim, and I'll be okay with that. But
I
the
mean,
MonsterVerse, let's go watch those right now.
I'm just being honest. Like, compelling story, but not executed the best. And it was lined up for him to be okay at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did do a little cheat ending, but sometimes you can give those away and they'll be okay. I think this one was okay. She shouldn't have survived. I agree with
Like,
you.
imagine imagine if instead of them just being accepting of him, like from the very beginning, like his crew that he was working with, like once, like they let him on because they didn't know, but then they found out that he was supposed to be. Once they found out that he was a kamikaze pilot, then they were kind of like untrustworthy of him.
Yeah.
And then he freezes up that second time, and like maybe the captain has to take over and shoot the bomb, and so then they're doubting him again, and then he's still like trying to figure himself out. I think that would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Like there's no conflict between him and the rest of the group after him and his neighbor get into it, and then everyone's just very accepting of him, and which
which I think
good on them.
Which is different because she's a civilian and the rest of them are
former,
yeah.
Like they should definitely not be as accepting. But then I guess they kind of hint at it towards the end when
a lot of this ex-military there were they already had the idea that they couldn't do much to win that part of the war at that point.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. were really taking over islands in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I love this movie for the Godzilla stuff. I don't really like it for the human stuff, and I think it says a lot that 2 of our 6 fell asleep.
Yeah, but Jason always falls asleep.
Those 2 are very likely to fall asleep a lot of movies.
Orlando?
I
don't feel like it.
Yes. If Hanaro is likely to, then Orlando is too.
They're not the same person.
They're not.
I feel like Orlando wouldn't.
I'm not suggesting that.
I feel like Orlando
I'm just saying they're
typically
brothers, not that they're
wouldn't
twins.
fall asleep.
They are twins.
But maybe
Not because of.
maybe they're rubbing off on each other.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
He's getting old. As
I
soon
feel
as
like
he's
it still says
30. He's turning old.
I still feel like it says a lot for them to both fall asleep.
I mean, Nicole always falls asleep, and then Yushi was during this movie, but
Did she?
3 people.
yeah.
Oh, so half of our group fell asleep during this movie.
Yeah. And you almost did?
I'm just kidding. Like I would probably never fall asleep during a movie. I want to get the most out of mine.
I think
I've never fallen asleep.
I think Morbius I was nodding off.
Really?
There have been times. There have been times where I was like really tired and my eyes hurt that I would close my eyes, but I would still be able to listen to the movie.
Yeah.
Like I would not fall asleep. Just
Just
listen instead
fall
of
asleep.
yeah.
Fall asleep, not fall asleep.
Half fall asleep. Fall asleep but still awake.
Just sleep with one eye and keep the other eye open.
Anyways, what back to this movie. What do you guys like about this movie?
The design of Godzilla really, really good. Like I said, it combines a lot of the Showa. I think mainly it looks like the shirt that Albert's wearing is Godzilla 1984. That is when the Heisei series starts, and it ends in 1995 with Godzilla vs. Destroyer. That line of Godzilla movies is like the framework that they work with, like the basic design.
Mm-hmm.
So typically that's not my favorite Godzilla, but they made it work because they did elements of the jowl of the Millennium series. It has like a Shin Godzilla like body, except the arms are bigger, so they're actually kind of useful.
Right. They're not like just T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
They've got an elbow.
I'll have to show you guys a picture, and maybe I'll put it in the podcast of the always sunset on 3rd Street Godzilla.
Okay. Like
and then
right here.
Yes, yeah, right there.
Right here.
Right there.
His face.
Right there. And also there's a statue that I've seen, and it takes elements or has similar features to that statue.
Okay.
Like the spikes on the arms and like the really like jagged, angular, yeah.
That's her as an elbow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
What are you what? You're showing me Shin Godzilla right now.
That's an elbow.
Yeah, but his arms are small.
It's stubbier in this movie.
But he has an elbow.
Yeah, but I didn't say what did I say?
You
he
said
did not
there
have
was
an
an elbow there in the other one.
Oh, wait,
In this one.
Like no, the
Not that one.
like the spike on the elbow. Do you remember? Did you notice the spike on the elbow?
No.
That's all it was referring to. I didn't
Oh.
say that, but there's a spike on the elbow, like a bone protruding from it. The design
His
is really
arms
good.
definitely longer.
Yeah, they're definitely longer. Yeah,
I was just saying that he has an elbow.
there was a figure that came out for this, and I was like, oh, I need this so bad.
You want it so bad.
No, I need it so bad.
He needs
Just like I need the Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest collection.
He needs it.
I need it.
This dude buys a house and doesn't know how to save his money.
I'm getting better.
It doesn't matter, John. He has the house now, so he can spend money.
No.
Anyway,
That's not how that works.
continue.
But the design I think is great. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's in top 3.
I was a little concerned at first because, when you first see him, I was like, man, he is tiny.
Yeah,
I didn't expect him to grow at all. I was like, oh, man.
It's still scary when he was small.
Oh, he
He's
was
scarier.
agile, yeah.
It was
To
fast.
me, he was scarier when he was smaller.
He was like more like hunched over,
more T-Rexy.
more T-Rex dinosaur like, yeah. Yeah, his face. Yeah, that was a good scene.
That was fun.
Yeah.
They set my expectations up pretty high with that.
Yeah, they did. They did.
It almost makes me want to see like a Godzilla that size.
Yeah.
It felt like a Jurassic Park movie
Yeah.
early on.
Godzilla, so in one of the movies, Godzilla evolves from a dinosaur, the Godzillasaurus.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's what they call it?
Yeah, this is
Godzillasaurus.
Godzilla versus Ghidorah in the Heisei series.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to call this Godzillasaurus of this movie.
All right, yeah?
Yeah.
Godzillasaurus.
Is it kind of hot in here?
No.
No.
Just
Okay.
you.
All right, yeah. All right, make sure.
I think if we turn on the fan, it's going to have that little shadow.
Dancing around.
If you want that.
Why did you shake?
Like, what are you doing?
If we turn on the fan, we're gonna have to like slightly move our head so it just balances it out. Anyways, the movie. The first opening shot in the movie is the airplane, and it's landing on Odo Island, which is the original. I don't know if it's a real island, but in the first movie, it is. Thank you for the confirmation.
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna trust you because you're smarter than me.
I've heard of it before. So
Yeah.
It sounded familiar.
It should be.
I heard it from Godzilla movies. So, in the original, the Odo Island people have a legend of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's taking back to the 1954 movie, and this movie starts before 1954. It starts in 45, right? I believe it starts in 1945.
It does.
Yeah,
Basically at the end of the war.
yeah. So, you get the airplane scene, which is beautiful. I could tell some of it was CGI, some of it might be practical or models. It looked good. And then you get the landing, and he's just like, "Oh something's wrong with my plane." And then they realize like
They review it, and then there's
nothing wrong. So he's like just very doesn't want to stare you in the face.
He's accused of being a deserter.
Yep, and that's not good here, but in Japan, it's just like
Especially.
back in the day that's no good. And you get that tension with the neighbor, and she's like, "What are you doing here? Like you can't be here. That's disgraceful." Like,
Right.
The neighbor's good. I like how she progresses. Like originally, she's like doesn't want to be his neighbor.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. Thanks a lot. If it weren't for you guys, everyone would be alive. Everyone thinks that deserters are the cause of Godzilla.
Well, not just Godzilla, but
like
of
surviving. Like and you don't know. Like who knows? Like it could just be more deaths if you provoke it. It doesn't. I think that's a good message in the movie about.
No, she doesn't think about him being the cause of Godzilla surviving. It's him causing the loss of the war for Japan.
Oh, I thought it was a loss of.
That was from the air raids. That wasn't from Godzilla.
I thought they were covering it up. I thought
No.
Godzilla was the cause of that.
At this point, Godzilla hasn't shown up on the mainland.
Okay,
main
okay.
island.
He hasn't morphed yet because he didn't get hit with the atomic bomb yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they were doing further testing in the oceans.
Yeah. The Bikini, what is that?
Bikini Atoll.
Yeah, Atoll, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the U.S. side.
Yeah.
Or U.S. testing of bombs.
In the Pacific Rim.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Pacific. But yeah. So they were. Yeah, the neighbor was being upset about him
causing
the loss of
Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And there were air raids and
yeah, that was the cause of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that.
Mm-hmm.
But she eventually she realizes, okay, maybe he's not a bad person because he's accepted. I mean, she's cute, so I guess.
Well,
it's
I mean,
like
still at first she does
Yeah.
not accept him because
Yeah.
she thinks that the main character, is trying to redeem himself of being
Yeah.
a hero,
yeah,
taking in this woman with a baby.
yeah. She's cute, so I would take her into
And
it.
that's not even implied.
What do you mean it's not implied? What do you mean?
It's not implied about her being cute is the reason.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Okay.
But taking in the kid too, like it's not his kid, and
Right.
at first he's not accepting. He's about to leave this kid, and he goes back,
Right.
and it's I think it's just like a slow build of the neighbor's character slowly accepting as he realizes, okay, maybe you're maybe a little more cowardly, but you're still a person.
Right.
And him eventually being accepting of, I mean, it takes Godzilla to make him like realize what he's lost. But like I guess essentially his partner, they're not.
I mean, I don't think it's even Godzilla making him feel this way. It's his own conscience.
Yeah, well, I mean, he
His
says it
inaction.
right. He says
Yeah.
it. He has his own war still.
Yeah.
His war's not over yet,
Mhm.
so he has to get this war over before he can continue on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that struggle was pretty good. I enjoyed that and that's with multiple characters, especially with what's his name, the mechanic.
Tubby, the mechanic.
Yeah,
Tachibana?
Thank you.
Tachibana. Yeah, him too. Like they both have to get their war over on their head.
Right. And for Tachibana, it's forgiving
Yeah,
Koichi,
yeah. So that was good.
or at least being at peace.
Yeah, I think you have some interaction with what's the main girl's name that they take in? I'm terrible at Japanese names.
The
Don't
little
look
girl?
at me.
No.
Noriko?
Noriko. So he eventually, it takes him a while like to get stable. I think if you're in an unstable situation, it's hard to really accept
Right.
people.
He's not
And-
even ready to build any
Yeah.
personal relationships yet.
Yeah, so he's not ready for that. But they slowly start like getting on their feet, and they start taking specific goals, and
Mm-hmm.
things become smoother. They're raising this kid together, and he brings his friends over, his coworkers over, and then he's just like kind of pushing him off, like no, like she's not my wife, like I
And
don't
she
want
admits
that.
too.
Yeah, like so. I mean, it's the truth, but I think they both know that they like each other, and
Mm-hmm.
It
they
hurts
both
her
know.
that he keeps saying
yeah, because then eventually she gets a job right after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like he didn't mean to hurt her, and this is kind of like, I want to get like so you can find your wife. Like she's like basically saying like that wasn't cool.
Right.
So no, I don't provide you enough money. Like no, it's not like that's not the point. It's not the money. It's you.
How he sees the relationship.
Yeah, how he sees his relationship. So I think there was good stuff there.
One of the funniest moments
Which one?
is when the little girl says, "Daddy," and he says,
No, Luke, I'm not your father.
"I'm not your father." How many times do I have to keep telling you this?
That was so sad.
Yeah, that
I
was
laughed.
sad. That was sad. And then
I think that another part of this that was pretty funny is the dynamic between both of our groups. Like half of the group would be sad over something, and the other half would laugh about something.
oh yeah.
Like they're talking about how it was sad, but me and Orlando and Jason all laughed when he said, "I'm not your father." Stop saying stuff like that.
I think it was in the same conversation that they had where they're like, "Oh, like then and your wife here." She goes, "Oh, like no, that's not my wife." And then, "Oh, this is your kid?" "No, this is not my kid." And then they're like, they look at him like, "What are you doing?" And then after she dies, you're like you should have married her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, that was a part where I cried. Like, let me see, when did you tear up? You didn't have any tears? A little bit? No, you didn't feel sad at all.
If I remember correctly, it's when they first talk about shoot.
Noriko.
I think
Noriko
being gone.
Yeah.
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 At the funeral, when they're all like giving wishes.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely cried there. I cried when the actual like explosion happened and she's gone and he's just like bawling his eyes out after that. Cool sequence.
That was a cool scene.
That was really cool.
Like, so
It was unexpected.
yeah.
the like Godzilla like charges up his
Yeah.
heat ray and fires it off, and
Yeah.
just like the amount of devastation that it caused.
His spikes start to like pop up
Yeah.
behind along all the way along.
With the like the blue luminescence,
Yeah.
and then like the impact that it has like from miles and miles and miles is crazy. Like
Yeah.
it really was basically like an atomic bomb.
Yeah, mini atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
The shock wave goes out, and then
The vacuum.
brings it in.
Yeah,
Kind of
like
like
when
another movie.
when he's crying on the ground, and then out of and then the smudge like from
The
all
black
that.
rain.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I was wondering what that was. Like,
That's black rain.
yeah,
Yeah.
is that from from like
Just
smoke
all
going
the
into
dirt
the
in
air,
And then
disrupting the clouds or something?
right, and then water precipitates in the air and then falls.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. If it was blood or something. It
No,
wasn't
it's
red,
just-
but it'd be crazy if it was blood.
The movie was already violent enough up to this point. So
Yeah. You can imagine a rated R cut of this movie.
Oh man, yeah.
Sheesh, I would watch that. So the atomic bomb is like the atomic breath is like an atomic bomb explosion, mushroom cloud. There's one other Godzilla that I can remember that has a very similar atomic breath,
Squirtle.
and it's not Squirtle,
Oh.
but that's a good Godzilla movie. Is Godzilla All Monsters Out of Attack (GMK)? Have you seen that movie?
I think I've seen parts of it.
Okay, that's a good
That's
movie.
the one where he just like completely destroys the first Western Godzilla, the T-Rex Godzilla looking one.
No,
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 never mind.
that's Final Wars.
Final Wars. I've seen that
But
one.
this one has like white out eyes,
Mm.
and he just looks evil. Like that's a good movie. That's a fierce Godzilla costume too. Except for his neck, he's kind of always hunched over like this for some reason. I don't know why his neck is always like this.
I just think it's funny that you do it, like, and then you look around at us.
Well, I was trying to show the camera like what I was doing. Looks good, master. I felt like Igor
Which
wanted to
city
do
shall
that.
I blow up?
But it has a reminiscent, being reminiscent to that. But yeah, I just think that everything in this movie was done very well. I think the CGI is pretty good. It's almost there. There's a little bit of like clunkiness to the animation sometimes, but if you watch me animate Godzilla, it's gonna look like really bad. So I'll shut
It
up
looks
now.
really good if 15 mil is its actual budget.
Yeah, 15
really
million.
good.
Yeah, I wonder what Shin Godzilla's budget was. I'll look it up a little bit later.
How do you guys feel about the end when they finally come up with a plan to defeat Godzilla, and how do you feel like it was executed?
Typical Godzilla plan, but this one's different. I like this one.
Because it didn't use the.
It didn't use an oxygen destroyer. It didn't use.
It didn't use some fake technology.
Yeah.
Like, that's a realistic plan.
Yeah. So when they unveil it, and if you want to explain it better, you can.
Oh, okay.
The plan,
I can
yeah.
try.
Yeah.
They basically want to use a heavy gas
Yeah.
to surround Godzilla while it's in the water
Yeah.
in order to sink it, because it's going to fall through, empty ocean,
Empty space,
empty
basically.
space in the ocean,
Yeah.
rather than just water, because it floats in seawater very well.
Yeah.
And then they basically want to compress it underwater really quickly, so it has very little chance of surviving.
So yeah,
From their
it
thought.
drops down, and the pressure of the ocean on it is possibly going to kill it.
Right.
Hopefully.
It's the change in pressure that
Yeah.
they want it to kill, because
Yeah.
they already know about sea creatures
Yeah.
surviving that deep, but they want the change in pressure to do the thing.
So it falls down. What causes him to stop? Doesn't he stop midway, or is it he stops up? He stops at the bottom because he gets to a point where the pressure and the heavy gas are the same, I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe there's some buoyancy, neutral buoyancy that gets achieved, or the Freon is just gone and
it's
they
gone.
don't have it anymore.
Okay. Gets to the bottom, and then they use the inflatables.
For plan B, but the same idea is
the opposite,
pressure.
right? Change of pressure.
Exactly.
Expansion of gases in your blood. Okay. So that's pretty dangerous if you do that to any animal.
For any creature,
pretty bad.
Yep.
I wouldn't recommend it, John.
Learned that from One Piece.
Learned that from One Piece.
Like the famous example in, I guess, popular culture is that blobfish.
The blobfish?
Yeah, it doesn't actually look like that in real life. It's a fish that looks really ugly.
Oh, like me.
Beginning of the Skypiea arc.
Uglier. Impossible.
Uglier.
Does it have a mustache too?
But yeah, blobfish
Is
don't
it you?
look like that.
It's me. Blobfish?
Yeah.
Okay. It's...
If you search for blobfish, there's like one image that will show up.
Does it combat the pressure? Like,
No.
what's it?
It is the pressure.
It is the pressure of pressure being changed a lot.
Okay. Okay.
It's a joke because it looks like an ugly fish, but it looks like that because of the change in pressure.
Oh, okay. All right. And then that doesn't
That's
work,
plan B.
right?
Yeah.
That's plan B. So plan B doesn't work. He stops somehow midway. He does something.
He chews through the what were they using?
The balloons.
Balloons, yeah.
Does he chew through it, or does he atomic, like, heat
He
through
definitely chews through it because you would know if he'd used the atomic breath.
So maybe I asked this incorrectly or kind of weirdly, but he stops midway down or up?
Up. On the way up.
Why is that again?
I just answered you.
Say it one more time. He chews through it.
He chews through it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see anything in his mouth or anything like that, but...
They just say it out loud.
Okay, so he chews through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so... John's point, he chews through it. So he stops, and so the acceleration upwards causes him to freeze?
Half die, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
he's freezing.
He's freezing. I don't know.
It's cold down there.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. And then when he gets back, they get him back up by
all of those ships.
a bunch of ships coming to the rescue. Tugboats pulling onto the main big battle cruisers, destroyers. So they get him up. Teamwork saves the day.
And destroyers?
What the? They did use oxygen destroyers.
I've seen this before.
They get him up there, and he's pretty beat up. He's pretty frozen, but he got enough energy to atomic blast him.
Yep.
So in comes Koichi. What's his first name? I'm gonna call him Koichi.
That's his first name.
Okay, Koichi.
Shikishima.
Tsukishima.
That's his surname.
Koichi.
Jojo.
Shikishima. Got it right? There's a lot of Marus on that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orochimaru was on there. I heard him. And they get him up there. He's about to blow it up, but he stops enough time for the airplane to go in his mouth. Yeah, I mean, I would assume he already atomic blasted it, but he waited a little bit longer.
It's all happening at the same time.
Okay, it's all happening at the same time.
So as he's preparing the ships flying, and it's all happening at the same time. It's just because it's a movie.
Dramatic effect.
They got to do the George Lucas thing where they have 4 different things happening at the screen at one time.
Well, that's what they're doing. Oh, like in a quadrant? I don't like
Yeah.
that. That's ugly.
Yeah.
It's lazy.
Stupid.
That's lazy.
Yeah. So
He gets the mouth full of airplane,
Yes.
and then he
Boom.
blows it up with he had a nuke or some type of bomb.
Just heavy bombs.
Heavy bomb. Yeah, nuke would have powered him up. Heavy bombs. Does it blow off Godzilla's head?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it blows off the top part of his head.
Yeah, you see the
And then
bottom
he
drop.
kind of just falls apart.
Starts crumbling because of the radiation.
One of the most, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but one of the most oh, that's it type of Godzilla movies in a while.
This one?
Yeah,
Really?
the ending, because all that pressure, you'd think he'd explode or something. He just falls apart. Very, very quietly falls apart. And then
a very decided, way.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because I'm sure they considered just explode versus slowly fall apart. So they chose that for a reason.
I feel like Shin Godzilla was more underwhelming for the ending. Freezing him with the coagulant.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that one's a little more under. And then just
I just mean strictly like how they ended it with like him flying into the mouth with the bombs.
Yeah.
And then with the addition of the atomic like
the bomb.
Yeah, like
the pressure.
You'd think the pressure. Thank you. You'd think he'd explode like, or there'd be more of a bang, but he just like silently falls apart.
All right.
That's all I mean by that.
Yeah. All right. I'm thinking like Godzilla's a balloon in this situation. If you poke the hole at the tail end of the balloon, it doesn't explode. It just seeps out.
Uh-huh.
So I think Godzilla's damaged to the point where the pressure's been leaking for a while. The whole time, maybe. And he has a lot of just exit points for this energy to go out. So I don't think that's my justification for it, but my mind doesn't really like work logically all the time.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
To me, that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe. I would be cool if like the flesh is falling off and you just got the skeleton like falling down.
That'd be cool too.
It'd be pretty goofy, but I know I like a good Godzilla skeleton when I get one.
Should have used an oxygen destroyer.
Should have used an oxygen destroyer.
Then you would have gotten some bones.
Yeah. Yeah, I based on his I don't know if we said it. He regenerates. Godzilla regenerates really fast in this.
Uh-huh.
He does so in other movies like Godzilla 2000. You've seen Godzilla 2000?
I think I have.
Okay. It's called Regenerator G1. Well,
I have seen that. This
is probably called Godzilla or Generator Minus One, probably.
Probably not.
But Ghidorah has a similar regeneration factor, and that was cool in that movie. This was cool in this movie. It gave me the impression of Godzilla being like an undead dinosaur, like a zombie dinosaur, and that was really cool.
That first scene where they with the
cheek,
the cheek.
Oh yeah,
so good.
That was good.
Very intimidating.
Yeah.
This because we already talked about how like scary this Godzilla is, and then on top of that, like he regenerated it and like so quickly too.
Yeah, throughout the movie, it's still like a different color, right? It's like a tan,
you can
maybe?
see it.
Yeah, or gray or something, lighter, so you could tell where he's damaged.
I also took it as like that's what happens when he uses the heat ray. Is like it damages his mouth, and that's why it looks like that.
Okay.
I think there's some scenes where at the end where after he uses the heat ray on the two fake boats, he's all like smoldering around his body.
Yeah.
It looks like a cool effect.
Yeah, almost like a burning Godzilla effect, but not quite that to that degree. I don't know how you guys are with Godzilla music, but when the boats are going around with him with the Freon capsules or whatever, there's like 4 different Godzilla themes playing. Like
it was pretty good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I think the main theme is in there. I know Godzilla vs. Mothra is in there. The original 1962 Godzilla vs. King Kong is in there. And then there's one more. It's like it's all like cycling through the music, and it's so good. Yeah.
I love Godzilla music.
I love Godzilla music too.
I don't know of it as much as you do, but
either.
like I love it still.
Yeah. There's a big like vinyl set. I need to buy a music player, but there's a big expensive set. I should listen to it on Spotify if they have it, but it's a beautiful looking piece of media. Anyways, what was I gonna say? The music was really good. The main theme that isn't a typical Godzilla theme is also pretty powerful. I can't remember it, but it was good. When you were in the plane, you could hear it and it was good. The plane was really cool too. That is a cool
the
design.
design of the final plane.
Yeah, that was. It looked like a plane but backwards.
I mean, that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It had a propeller in the back and in the front.
Nope, just the back.
Oh, just in the back.
It's made to push instead of pull.
Oh, that's cool. And the shape is like almost like a Coruscant, like
Naboo fighter.
Naboo, like ship.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's an X-wing.
X-wing. I mean, maybe, but it's missing
because
extra
the Naboo
wings.
fighters are
It's like longer.
The Naboo fighters have the T shape in the front.
Right.
Do they?
So
Yeah.
it's a
Or am
more
I thinking about it
traditional,
backwards?
traditional plane.
Really?
X-wings have the wings behind
Further,
the cockpit.
yeah, further back.
All right, we're gonna put reference pictures right here. You guys can vote.
Oh, I'm right.
Oh yeah, we're
We'll-
right.
we'll
yeah,
find
the
out.
X-wing is more reminiscent of.
I mean, I can show you right now, so you don't have to verify.
All right, let's do it.
All right, hold
Let's
on.
do it. Let's do it.
And then on top of that, how do you guys feel about the ending where they show the
Survival of.
I knew that was gonna happen based on his regenerative abilities, but also it reminded me of GMK a lot, and that's the same sequence of. No, not that one. Not that one. Hold up.
This is the Naboo starfighters.
Yeah, well, it's not that one.
So then you're wrong.
John showing the traditional, I feel like is traditional, the yellow and silver.
Yeah, that's the one you guys are talking about. But so the ship that they have at the Phantom Menace that they get stranded on Tatooine with, it's like silver.
Oh, the very big silver one.
Yeah.
That they fly to Tatooine on.
Yeah, what is? We're gonna have to figure out what this is gonna.
Where they face Darth Maul in the desert.
Yeah, episode 1. Sorry, we'll cut this out.
It's basically Padme's cruiser.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
It's
No.
a little bit. It's a little bit better.
closer.
It's closer, but
yeah,
yeah,
there's the thrusters in the back. But
it's
they're not
missing the
wings.
wings.
Yeah.
It looks like a SR-71 Blackbird kind of actually.
Well, yeah, it's just the thrusters about the wings.
Yeah, yeah, but
But
yeah,
yeah.
you have a better shape with the wings on it for sure. For with the
X-wing.
X-wing, yeah,
Yeah.
you win. But mine wasn't terrible.
You're,
either.
okay, once we figured out what you were talking about, no,
It
wasn't
makes more
terrible.
sense.
It makes
Yeah.
more sense.
It makes
yeah.
more sense.
It makes more
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about? He's not at the front."
wrong ship.
I was like, "You have head on backwards."
Nubian as opposed to Naboo.
Yeah, Nubian, Naboo.
Same
To me,
thing.
it's like the same thing.
It's like Godzilla and Godzilla, you know.
Gojira.
But yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about it.
Oh, John, were you talking about Godzilla regenerating just now, or were we talking about
Oh, at the very end.
Noriko being alive?
No, Godzilla regenerating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How do we feel about it? You were asking.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said you knew it was gonna happen.
I knew it was going to happen based on his ability to regenerate, and the way he disintegrates is very similar to GMK. So maybe that was subconsciously in my mind. So I was expecting that, and I was expecting it was going to be an end credit scene or very close to the end of the movie. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because
Can't wait for Godzilla -2.
2
Plus one.
Oh, 2 plus 1.
Plus one.
So it's the
So
same
it's just
number.
Godzilla 0.
That's not how that works.
-1 plus 1.
I think you said Godzilla 2 minus 1.
Oh no, I think he was counteracting -1 with +1 for the next one, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Godzilla -1 plus 1 is 0.
0 point.
0 point.
Yeah.
No.
Singular point.
Singular point. No. I want to see if they keep a similar design or if they take the chance to change the design again.
I think if it's a sequel, then I keep it.
Maybe, but
Or I guess there would be a reason for him to change because he's gotten smushed down to whatever body mass he had left.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited. Maybe he's going to be uglier, scarier.
Right.
Maybe he's going to be tiny. Maybe we'll get our Godzillasaurus.
Yeah, or something like Shin Godzilla where it's like some form and then it morphs.
So with this Godzilla, if you cut him in half, would he be like separate two Godzillas?
Ooh. Maybe that's for the next movie.
Where he fights himself but a mutated version?
Yeah.
I want to see a versus movie with this director.
That'd be cool.
And I want him to do his own monster, not a typical monster. Like not a Ghidorah, not a King Kong.
An older monster that hasn't been used lately.
No, just a
His own
new-
original
his own
creation.
original
Oh,
creature.
okay, his own creation. I see.
Yeah.
That'd be
That's
cool.
so hard though.
I feel like there's a lot of concepts that they haven't done.
What if he does something similar to a Muto?
Muto? I think he'd be more creative than
I
that.
feel like
Yeah, I feel like the insect ones have been used enough.
Yeah. I mean, you got Mugira, Mugira? No, that's the Megagirus. He's a cool insect, like that was newer. Orga, and
the chainsaw in the middle, right?
that's Gigan.
Gigan. Oh,
You don't know Gigan?
dude, I'm tired.
Forget all the
okay?
names.
Come on, no, we don't watch Godzilla as much as you. We don't have statues
I don't have a statue of Godzilla yet.
or figures. Sorry,
That's on order.
technicality. Sorry, Jesse.
Yay, Naboo,
Nubian.
Tomato.
Angong.
Dong.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay,
bringing
that's
that back.
that's not a thing.
That's not.
It's
That's
close
not.
enough.
Don't ever say that again.
But yeah, a little bit of bad in this movie. Like the Noriko coming back.
The human characters.
Yeah, for John, the human characters, a little. I can see a little bit, but I was crying so much that maybe I just was like building it up in my head.
I think it's mainly because you're at a certain point in your life where you could really relate to.
Maybe I want kids. I don't know.
I mean, that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm saying it's close. At least closer to John and
Hey,
I.
do we want kids? Doc? It's getting hot in here.
Still just you.
My forehead's all sweaty. If they do a sequel for this, would you be excited?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good concept, and I like what we were getting from the director.
I really want to see a more like
What's up?
horror-ish Godzilla like we got at the
That
beginning.
would be cool.
That would be so cool.
That'd be cool. 1984. Have you seen Godzilla 1984?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
I feel like
There's-
we have.
There's horror aspects in it, but it's also an 80s movie, so it's not that scary.
Right.
Scary for the time.
It's scary for the
I mean,
time.
they're still using practical effects and practical characters.
Yeah. So.
Big monster.
Mhm.
Where's
the
that from?
Big monster.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking of Dana Carvey when he was, big penis.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It was the Hulk from Thor Ragnarok when he's like,
Big
"Oh, big monster."
Okay. Okay, sorry. My mind went somewhere else.
Yeah, your mind went the wrong way.
Real different direction.
I'll have to show you the video later.
Okay. This has been the Legendary Set podcast. I gotta do jugs and plugs first, though.
Yeah.
Why have I been doing that so much recently?
I'm Jesse. I was kidding.
Hi, Jesse.
This is John. It's Albert. We're going to go out of order.
Yeah. Jugs and plugs. Subscribe to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Jinx.
Let us know if you guys have seen Minus One, and how do you guys feel about it? Where would you rate this Godzilla?
Like the movie and the design?
And the design, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there other wine or alcohol-related movie products we should try?
For kaiju?
No, it doesn't have to be for kaijus.
I'll break the bottle as soon as we get off camera.
What? $10. You owe me $10.
I'll pay the $10.
I want to try a sweet wine.
That is pretty sweet.
This has been the Legendary Sip Podcast, and join us next time for Kung Pao. Enter the Fist. For real this time.
For real this time.
I like them feisty.
Bye.
Bye.
They like me back.
They like me back.